Let's jump right in because generative AI isn't just some shiny new toy anymore. Actually, it's completely tearing up the rulebook for what one single person can achieve. Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're unpacking a massive shift in the digital economy. We're talking about the radical democratization of building and marketing software. If you've been watching closely, you already know independent creators are using AI to build scalable SaaS products right from scratch and then marketing them with the firepower of an entire agency. So how exactly are they doing it? Let's find out. Here's our quick roadmap for today. First, the AI solopreneur era. Second, building SaaS without engineers. Third, product thinking still rules. Fourth, marketing with Gen AI. Fifth, transforming the marketing mix. And finally, number 6, the human competitive edge. Let's get right into it. Okay, section 1, the AI solopreneur era. $80 million. I mean, wow. That is exactly what Mayor Shlomo recently sold his AI-built app for. Look, for the longest time, the barrier to entry for building software was basically this giant, unscalable wall made out of complex code and a ton of cash. Well, that wall has completely collapsed. And you know what the crazy part is? Mayor wasn't even a senior engineer. Instead, he used AI-assisted development to write, debug, and actually ship a highly complex, production-ready product. This isn't just some theory. This is the reality of the AI solopreneur era that we're living in right now. Now, I know what you might be thinking. You're probably saying, wait, haven't we had no-code platforms like Bubble or Webflow for a while now? And yes, we absolutely have, but there is a massive difference here. Traditional no-code really limits you to their own proprietary templates. Basically, if you outgrow their template, you're stuck. But AI coding tools, things like Claude 3.5 Sonnet, Cursor, or GitHub Copilot, they actually act like expert developers sitting right there on demand. They generate custom code that you own completely. You can modify it infinitely, you maintain absolute control over your whole tech stack, your architecture, the whole shebang. Which leads us to section 2, building SaaS without engineers. So how do you practically pull this off? Because, let me tell you, you don't just open up a chat window and type, hey, build me an app. It doesn't work like that. There are 4 absolutely non-negotiable phases here. First up, you need a highly detailed product requirements document, a PRD, that clearly defines your core features. Second, you really have to design your data model. You've got to map out how all your app's moving parts relate to each other way before a single line of code is written by the AI. Trust me, trying to fix a messy database structure later is a total nightmare. Third, define your design system, your colors, your fonts, so it doesn't look like some generic template. And fourth, prototype and validate your minimum viable product with real, actual users so you can catch those weird edge cases early on. Moving right along, section 3, product thinking still rules. This brings us to a huge mindset shift. We need to look past just the technical steps and see the real strategic picture here. Yes, AI is incredibly powerful, but guys, it is not a magic build my business button. Product expert Akash Gupta really hit the nail on the head with this. He says AI replaces the mechanical typing of code, but not the product thinking. The human, that's you, still has to handle the strategy, the user research, and the core decisions. Think of it like this. You are the architect, and the AI is just a really, really fast bricklayer. And that builds right into the old rule of garbage in, garbage out. If you just throw random, vague requests at an AI, you are going to get random, messy code back. It's that simple. If you want an app that's secure and actually performs well, you absolutely have to start with a rock-solid, structured foundation. Plus, you need to meticulously review every single thing the AI spits out, especially when we're talking about security vulnerabilities or database performance. Bottom line, you just can't outsource your thinking. All right, section 4, marketing with Gen AI. Building the product is really only half the battle, right? Now we actually have to get it out there. When we look at the whole model of efficiency here, step 1 is obviously integrating the tools, but the magic really happens in the next steps, rapid drafting and standardizing your workflows. By letting AI automate the totally tedious, repetitive stuff in marketing, like scheduling posts or writing up basic outlines, the solopreneur frees up massive amounts of time. And that saved time, it gets reallocated directly back into high-level strategy and creative ideas. You're not just saving time, you are completely upgrading how you spend it. And the numbers backing this up are just wild. Solopreneurs are reporting that using AI cuts their content creation time by about 35%. Basically, it acts as the ultimate brainstorm buddy to instantly smash through writer's block. And here's the best part. Because they can pump out more consistent and tailored content, they're actually seeing their engagement metrics, like likes, shares, comments, jump up by 20 to 25%. So why exactly is that engagement shooting up? Well, it all comes down to improved content quality and perfectly tailored messaging. AI is incredibly good at analyzing huge data sets to figure out what users actually want, which lets you craft personalized messages at a massive scale. Think about it. When your audience feels like a piece of content was custom made just for their specific problem, they're obviously going to interact with it more. And that interaction gives you direct feedback, which builds an even deeper connection with your brand. It creates this amazing self-reinforcing loop of absolute audience loyalty.
Section 5. Transforming the marketing mix.
Now, these massive boosts in efficiency and engagement, they aren't just practical wins. They are literally rewriting classic marketing theories, like the old 7Ps. Back in the day, promotional strategies were completely static. You'd plan a campaign, launch it, and then sit around for weeks crossing your fingers to see if it worked. Not anymore. AI brings predictive analytics to the table, shifting us to highly adaptive strategies. Today's solopreneurs are using real-time AI sentiment analysis to tweak their promotions on the fly. They're reacting instantly to how the audience behaves right now, rather than sticking to some rigid, outdated calendar. And we're seeing that exact same transformation happen with product and price. Thanks to real-time customer insights, you don't have to guess what the market wants anymore. You can customize your digital products directly based on continuous feedback from your actual audience. On top of that, predictive analytics make adaptive pricing super easy. AI can forecast exactly how customers might react to different price points, which means solo founders can make incredibly smart, totally responsive pricing decisions in the blink of an eye. Which brings us to our final part, Section 6, the human competitive edge.
Okay, so we've seen how AI can basically write your code, draft your posts, and even optimize your pricing. But here is the critical catch. Despite all of this amazing automation, you absolutely cannot lose your human touch. Consumers crave genuine connections, right? They want to trust the actual creator behind the product. So use AI as your sparring partner to bounce ideas around and do the heavy lifting. But if you rely on it blindly without real human oversight, you're going to water down your unique voice. Authentic human strategy, true empathy, and your personal brand, those simply cannot be outsourced to a machine.
We've reached a point where the financial and technical barriers to building and distributing a software business have essentially dropped to zero. So the question is no longer, can I build this? Because honestly, an AI assistant can help you do that by this afternoon. The real question you need to ask yourself is, should I build this? Does this actually solve a real problem for real people? The tools are sitting right there in front of you, totally ready to go. The only missing ingredient is your strategy. So are you ready to start building? Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and keep learning.